Hey everyone, it's Prithvi Argun. I'm here in this review for Siren, the new film directed by Anthony Bhakiraj and starring Jayam Ravi, Kirti Suresh, Anupama Parameswaran, and also Samudra Khani in the lead roles. Now, the last few years have been really tough for Jayam Ravi in terms of solo ventures. Yes, he had the Ponniyin Selvan films, which were really good for him in terms of performance and everything, but his solo ventures such as Bhumi, Ahilan, and also Ireven were, in my personal opinion, some of the worst films in the last few years. And thankfully, Siren is a lot better than those three, but it's still not an amazing film overall. I give it a 6.5 out of 10. This film is buoyed by the very subdued but very nice performance from Jayam Ravi. He does a really good job of playing this innocent parolee that's trying to get revenge for the killing of his wife. And he does a really good job in terms of the father-daughter sentiment, which is really similar to the sentiment that we saw in a film like Viswasam, which ironically was written by Anthony Bhakiraj, who happens to be the director of this movie. But surprisingly, this movie doesn't really focus on that father and daughter sentiment as much as I thought it would. It's really a revenge thriller, but it takes its long and drawn out time to get to that point. And I was very surprised by the fact that there's a little bit of a spoiler here, so if you want to stop watching this review, again, the score is a 6.5 out of 10. But here's some of the spoilers in terms of the film. I was very surprised that the movie takes a long time to get to the flashback point. I think it takes almost the third quarter of the movie to get to the point where we finally understand why Jayam Ravi's character wants to get revenge on these people and who he's trying to get revenge on. And what's really surprising is that the villain in this movie only is revealed to be the villain or the main villain near the end of the film. I was astonished by the fact that they wanted to do it that way, because there were like certain villains here and there that Jayam Ravi's character was killing off, but obviously they were not the main person. So you kept thinking, like, who's the main person? And it takes them until the last like 30-minute mark to get to the point where Samudra Khani ends up being the main villain. And in my personal opinion, I feel like Kirti Suresh and Samudra Khani were kind of betrayed by a bad script for them. The characters are really badly written. Samudra Khani only appears in this movie for like 10 or 15 minutes. So apparently he's supposed to be this big villain, but he only really appears near the end of the film and has one sequence in the beginning of the movie. So very shoddy directing in that aspect in terms of trying to establish a villain. Kirti Suresh tries her best, but I feel like her character is badly written. And again, she has good sequences with Jayam Ravi's character, but I feel like she's betrayed by bad direction overall. Anupama Parameswaran, who is highlighted in the promotional material for this film, is supposed to be in this movie for a lot more, but she's only in this movie for, again, like 10 to 15 minutes, so it's kind of like a cameo appearance for her. But she does a decent job as the deaf and mute wife that gets slain by the villains. And yeah, Siren is a predictable film. It's pretty much buoyed by a nice performance from Jayam Ravi. It's okay. It has some moments here and there, some funny moments here and there too, in terms of the confrontation scene and also the fight scene where Jayam Ravi has some quips and one-liners that are kind of funny. Yogi Baba's character is kind of like a throwaway character. He's not really important. But yeah, overall, I give this movie 6.5 out of 10. It'll pass the time. It's decent enough. If you're a Jayam Ravi fan, you might enjoy this, but if you're an overall fan of Tamil cinema movies, this is an okay venture. Go watch it whenever you can.